You're listening to a Zaboys Media Podcast.
Welcome to Make It Make Sense, a Zaboys LLC podcast where we take the best and worst plans of fiction, fact, and sometimes our own personal lives, and we try to either make them make sense or even make them better. I'm Positive C. That's Jim the Bradenbox Thornquist.
Howdy.
Today, we are starting a Brendan twofer, I would like to call it the Brendan twofer, the two B's, because Brendan Fraser is in the news because Brendan Fraser's awesome. He's in the news for being an awesome person, and if you liked the 1999 hit The Mummy,
Woo!
and you really wanted them to make more of those after, one with Jet Li and one with The Rock, they're making another one. They're getting the gang back together. Number 4, The Mummy goes to Manhattan. It's going to be a really, really great movie. The Muppets make a cameo. It's going to be fantastic. And so I decided that I wanted to dissect one of the Mummy plans.
Okay.
The Mummy itself is a pretty good plan. Like that, I think there's nothing really to dissect with that one.
Mummy's iconic. Sorry, I was trying to mix iconic and classic there. It's iClassic.
iClassic, yes. It's on Turner iClassic Movies, and you can see The Mummy for iClassic Plus. Yeah. You can see The Mummy for $15.99 a month. No. But and then in the third one with Jet Li, I didn't see it, so I don't know whether or not that plan made any sense. I know he became the Terracotta Army. I think that's what happened to poor Jet Li. Poor him. He becomes, history. Oh, wow. That's so sad. And then, so that left the 2001 Spectacular. And I do mean spectacular because on re-remembrance and a rewatch of a lot of things in this movie, The Mummy Returns is a friggin' awesome. It's a really, really good movie. But my friend, the cult of Imhotep, the main, reason this whole movie gets going is their plan's a little wonky at different points in times. We'll talk about that in a bit.
I think I can guess.
Okay.
The plan, since it's called The Mummy Returns, I'm assuming they bring him back. And that's the plot.
That's one of the plots. That's one of the reasons why this is going on. And honestly,
I was close.
They we'll get into it because they could have stopped at one point in time that may have not have even involved Imhotep. Just because of what we know about the 1999 Mummy. We know some things about Imhotep that you're kind of like, I don't know if that's the guy we want to hire for this particular journey they need to go on. And I got some trivia for you when it comes down to this 2001 Spectacular, and it's really, really spectacular. The whole reason this thing got going is after about maybe a half hour after The Mummy premiered in 1999, the director got a call from one of the producers and was like, "Hey, I think this movie is going to be an absolute hit. It's going to be a monster. We're going to make a lot of money out of this. Will you make another one?" It got greenlit 30 minutes after the premiere. Like this is one of those ones where it didn't take a long time for everyone to go, "Oh yeah, we need more of Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz and the other guy."
Wait, so basically it's the opposite of the producers. Instead of them trying to make a flop and it succeeding, they were like, "Hey, we're trying to make a good movie." And I guess that's the premise of every movie. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
This was a good plan. That would have been a terrible plan by the producers to make this the bad movie. This would have been, because it's almost like a perfect movie. It gets every little thing right. And The Mummy Returns definitely did, a bunch to raise the stakes and make everything bigger and more action packed and more sensual and sexual, because you have, it knocks on the moon. Fox, very, very foxy in this movie. So is Rachel Weisz. So yeah, and
Vice
Brendan
Weisz.
Fraser. And like we had some very, very foxy people in all of the Mummy, including Imhotep, who has a cult in this movie. So let's get into the plan. Let's get into the plan of the Mummy Returns, because it also goes into the plot of the Mummy Returns.
It's been
kill two birds.
It has been a long time since I've seen it. So yeah, give me a rundown of the plot so we can figure out the plot, the plan. It doesn't make sense. That's what we're here to do.
So it all starts with the idea that a British museum curator is apparently for the Egyptian Museum. He's British, I think. The actor Alan Ockham, I think that's what his name. Yeah. He Alan Armstrong. Samsonite. I was way off. Alan Armstrong, or how I'm actually going to call him. He's Aragon's uncle. He was actually in the movie Aragon, and he played Aragon's uncle, who died at the beginning of the movie. So he's Aragon's uncle. Aragon's uncle is a British museum curator in Egypt, where Rachel Weisz works. I think something O'Connell, the O'Connells. Yes. And he is also the leader of a cult that wants to bring back Imhotep from the very first movie that Rachel Weisz had to kill with, 4 other people.
Her
or 3 other people.
Boss is the leader of the cult?
Her boss is the leader of the cult, along with the reincarnation of Anaxamun, the whole reason that Imhotep wanted to, take Rachel Weisz in the first movie, I think, was to bring back Anaxamun. Yeah. And so she is actually reincarnated in another lady that looks pretty much like her. And she is also, using the cult of Imhotep to bring back her love. But that's not their only thing that they want to do, which is, you should have picked the lane. You have Imhotep. You don't really need the next thing. Every 5,000 years, a warrior that got he ate a scorpion. Yeah, he ate a scorpion sent by Anubis. Because of things. If you watch the movie, you'll see why The Rock eats a scorpion, and it's like, golly, I guess, I was hungry walking in the desert. I'd eat a scorpion too. And then he's blessed with the undead army of Anubis, and he sacks Thebes, and in 5,000 years later, he'll come back as some type of thing that you have to kill to get the army of Anubis. Yeah, that's how you control the army of Anubis. Apparently, you kill the rock.
Kill the rock.
You kill the rock. I almost forgot a big part of it. Also, you need a bracelet. You need this thing called the bracelet of Anubis. So first, the cult has to find the bracelet of Anubis. They also have to find the mummified remains, the re-mummified remains of Imhotep. Their goal is to bring him back to life, Imhotep. Use the bracelet of Anubis to find the hidden place that the rock lives, because it's about to be the year of the scorpion, and the 5,000 year period is over, so the rock's going to come back. You can get the army of Anubis if someone kills him, and they think that Imhotep is the man for the job. They've decided that Imhotep, the high priest, mummy guy, cursed man, is just the right dude to kill the rock and take control of the army of Anubis. Okay.
So let me think. I think I've got all the pieces in place here.
Right, yeah, that's the plan.
Cult of Anubis. Sorry, Cult of Imhotep. Yeah. Want to bring Imhotep back to life again.
Yes.
By finding his mummified remains, even though he wasn't re-mummified at the end of the first one. He was sunk into a pit of shadows.
Yes, this pit of shadows. Yes.
But now his remains are re-mummified, and this is the reincarnation of his ex-girlfriend and some other guy. And their thought is, we'll bring him back to life so he can kill the Scorpion King.
Yes.
And control the army of Anubis, and we can take over the world, I guess?
Yeah, that seems to be the last part. Seems to be one of those world taking over people, which is just, there's got to be a better way, I understand world domination. It's not so far-fetched to me that someone wants to take over the world. We're seeing it every day in real life. People really want to do that. Like that's that's not as fictional as even comic books make it seem. That there are people and groups of people who just really want world domination.
Yeah, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Yeah, but the way that, the real world goes about it kind of versus the way, a lot of superhero movies or action movies, Bond and all that stuff, they go about it. There's so much utter annihilation that there's not much to take over after they're done. And so that doesn't really jive that way. I think this is one of those cases where if you look at what the Army of Anubis does within like the first 15 minutes of the movie where they're introducing who the Scorpion King is, they just lay waste to the city of Thebes. And they're made up of the dead soldiers that they kill. So every time they sack a city or sack anything else or soldiers die, they gain numbers. They gain numbers, they gain strength. So I just don't understand the import of the plan, which is, take over the world. Can I give you the flaws I found in this plan overall?
Yeah, of course. I'd be happy to hear them.
Yeah, the first big flaw I think in it all is the being dependent on Imhotep being able to defeat a very, very powerful thing when he got beat by a bunch of people. Yeah. A bunch of guys. Just a guy. The guy came out and with a bunch of other guys, and they read from a book, and that basically took him out. So that doesn't seem to jive with what they really need. They really need somebody who's proven that they can, battle something ancient and old and win.
Yeah. An old Egyptian warlord who ate a scorpion. And sold his soul to Anubis.
Yeah, that's a badass monster thingy, whatever. Yeah. Or even if it's just the Rock. So just a little side tangent. Even if the Rock would have come out from the big rock thing that came out, and if it was just the Rock that was just a little bit bigger with a big ass sword or something like that.
Sorry.
It would have been so intimidating. Yeah. Can you smell? Yes, we can smell. You've been in there for 5,000 years. Oh my God. Like Anubis did not take your sweat glands. Like this fucking sucks.
No, actually, I agree with you on that. I think if just The Rock had walked out, because I think we're all aware of what comes out. It's a scorpion bottom half with the Rock top half, like some scorpion centaur, except for, and here's where I'm going to argue. I think the scorpion CGI looks better than the Rock CGI.
I was doing the research, for this today, looking at a lot of stuff, and I was like, this isn't as bad as it makes it look. The Rock's face is funky, but like the scorpion itself, the monstrosity that it is, like when you first see it in the shadows, the way it moved and kind of crawl on its little thingies were on the wall and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. That was awesome. And then it came into the light, and you go, oh, it's the Rock face.
Well, I said the Rock upper torso and arms and everything, that looks like it came off the N64, Raw vs. SmackDown or something. But then you got the scorpion body that legitimately looks convincing enough that, especially if you think about 2001, A Space Odyssey. No, I'm sorry. If you think about 2001, though, it looks pretty solid. But sorry, go on. Other flaws.
Okay, other flaws. Not CGI flaws. Needing to find too many hidden items without the capabilities to really do that, because they don't really have the best archaeologists working with them. It's the curator of the museums, is whatever, but the rest of the people that they hire just like goons. They have a lot of goons, including one of my favorite goons of all time, who ended up being Killer Croc in Suicide Squad, where he is Adewale. I don't want to say most of his name wrong because I'm not very good with African names, which is sad. I need to get better. But here's where I love him from most. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, he's the main goon who is like, what are you doing when the elephant is about to sit on his car? One of the best roles in cinema. So like they have guys like that. They don't really have like Egyptologists or archaeologists to find these hidden items. The reincarnated Knocks on the Moon is definitely gaslighting this dude into doing this. Like, she's totally being like, Emotep, very awesome, very good, kill lots of people, in fact, he's one of the best, the greatest warriors of all time. He wasn't like a high priest or anything. He fought battles with a sword, and he's the best person to, defeat a monster, man. We don't know what's in there, but come on, buddy, we should dig him up. That's a Knocks on the Moon in a Brooklyn way.
So, I mean, to address that flaw, is it possible that maybe they think that they're, because they're bringing back the Mummy who has these plague powers from the first movie,
right?
That him then controlling the army of Anubis, like he has the ability to take down the Scorpion King, so that he can then, using his magic, and then of course he's like, yes. Now I control the army of Anubis, death answers to me, and I'm the plague mummy pharaoh.
Yeah, that's not, I don't know how that benefits the cult of Emotep at all.
No, yeah, it really doesn't.
I'm not really sure. Yeah. Like, the benefit is for Knocks on the Moon. She gets her lover back, and she gets to be queen of the rest of the world that's now undead. So it's totally a situation where she's like, yeah, this is going to be good for everybody. It's really not. So that, and then I think the O'Connells have defeated Emotep, and the British curator should know this. If he's truly a Emotep cultist, unless that means that, just like some cultists that we know probably in real life, they can't accept the defeats of their leaders.
Yeah.
So they're almost gaslighting themselves into believing that no, Emotep's a badass. He just had a bad day. It's not like, it's not really Emotep. Like, everybody goes through some things. Emotep's changed.
Yeah.
He's changed.
He's not used to fighting in a gold diaper. He's more used to fighting in silken diapers.
Right, exactly. And those guys he sucked off to get all the powers back, they sucked too. They weren't good. So we're gonna get some other people for Emotep to suck off and get back strong again.
His power comes from really absorbing and sucking the powers from good-hearted, powerful men, not corrupt men looking to use his power to their advantage. That's what it is.
Exactly. So those are the flaws. And I'm trying to figure out, I did figure out how to make it make sense. Do you have a way to make what I just told you make sense? I think there is a definite way to, even without what I'm saying, but where is the logic of the end of the plan to take over the world?
Where is the logic of the end of the plan to take over the world? That is a good question. There is no logic in it. It's just evil to be evil to be evil. It's their plan is like, it's just power. They want power and riches again. So does the plan make sense? Not at all. Not unless you're, like I said, not unless you're the reincarnated girlfriend that really just wants her love back.
Right.
But even then, that's like some like psycho, I don't want to be derogatory in my terminology. That's some psycho ex-lover mentality, right? Like, I'll key his car and he'll come back, or I know, I'll stalk her and she'll love me again. Like, it's that kind of plan. So
they have a little bit of that both going on, because he dug her up. It was like, hey, I know you might be sleeping peacefully, but hey, wake up. Wake up. She seemed terrified when she woke up. She seemed so mad. She was wanting to kill the first thing she kind of saw, which was Rachel Weisz. So the way I think it could make sense, the only reason the plan could work is if they pay attention to what prophecy means, and that's the only way it makes sense. So that means the O'Connells have to die. Alex is the only one that can live, because at the beginning of the movie, their son of the two O'Connells,
he
he has the bracelet of Anubis on his arm, and that's kind of like the linchpin of the plot that actually moves everything along. Is there is a time limit? There's like 7 days you have to get to the Oasis, or the wearer's soul gets sucked off or something like that, and then you.
Egyptian myths just loving to suck powers off of people, out of people.
It was a good time for everybody.
Yeah.
And then so that happens, but they need to just go ahead. He has so many people with guns. He has got to train, and the cult's got to train. The cult has guns. I don't think there's any reason that O'Connell should be alive. So that they only need one of them, because in the prophecy, Jack O'Connell, Brendan Fraser is
Rick.
Jungle.
Rick O'Connell.
Rick O'Connell is like the incarnation of Horus or something like. He's an incarnation of another Egyptian god thing, right?
Yeah, the sun god.
And then Rachel Weisz is the incarnation of like the Queen Nefertiti. Yeah, like they're prophesized to defeat Imhotep, or pretty much any like Egyptian myth thing that happens within the story. The curator of the British Museum should have known that, and if he would have known that, they should have killed. You had a Rachel Weisz right there. Boom, kill her. There's only Rick left. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my gosh, like there should have been so many ways to get rid of them. Then the prophecy is done with that, and you just have Imhotep. That's the way to make that plan that they have make sense. You do everything else. You just kill Rachel Weisz and
first.
Rick. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's probably about the only way that their actual plan works and makes it make sense. Now, is there a way to make it better?
Yes.
I guess killing them would make it better already.
That makes that plan make better, but I think there's a way to keep them alive too. Hire the O'Connells is like number one. If you want to do everything still kind of the same way, but not kill Rachel Weisz and Rick, you should just hire them, because they're great explorers.
Yeah, they're the cult aside.
Great archaeologists. Yeah, put the cult aside. You've been lying to her this entire time. Lie some more. There's no reason to, as soon as the bracelet gets found, be like, oh yeah, time to take off or put on the hoods. I don't know. No, just continue. Let them find everything.
The bag's on or off?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Can they breathe in the bag? That's kind of the main. We ought to make sure that they can breathe in whatever bag. And there's eye holes cut out. I can't see a damn thing in this darn thing.
Why's mine only got one? So,
but
who doesn't know? That's some Django Unchained jokes right there.
That's for high cinema.
Cinema.
That way, if you do that, if you hire the O'Connells, you can skip Imhotep. You can skip Imhotep, because the O'Connells have already defeated Imhotep. I think you bet on Rick and Rachel Weisz. I think you bet on them, and you say, they've already defeated this guy once, and he was a 5,000-year-old or however old mummy guy, and he had all the powers of sand and locusts and the plagues, and he lost.
Yeah.
So we already have the Book of the Dead. You already have the Book of the Dead, which you should be reading more anyway. I don't know why you just like, everyone gets to the Imhotep page and they're like, oh wow, this is
the guy.
Yeah, this is it.
Reading is fundamental, but who cares, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna get to the Imhotep page and that's it. There's probably so many cool spells in there. You could if you have the Book of the Dead that can raise back and reanimate a corpse from however long ago, you should be able to take over the world with said book.
You'd think so, yeah. I mean, if you can summon plagues and raise the dead, and you'd think you'd be able to take over the world at least.
And fire, this is the last thing you need to do. Fire knocks on the moon. You gotta go. She's gotta go. She's bringing everything down, because it's a personal journey for her. Yeah. It is a personal experience. That is not what you need in world domination. It cannot get personal, because that's when plans start to fall apart, because you start bringing in people that aren't qualified when you start getting personal in plans of world domination. And that's what they're doing with Imhotep. Imhotep is not qualified for this job. He wasn't powerful warrior back in the day. He just happened to have powers because, he wasn't even a pharaoh. He was a high priest. He was the high priest to the pharaoh that was horny. He was a horny high priest that couldn't keep it in his pants and tried to overthrow the pharaoh. Lost there. That's one. So Imhotep, 1, lost with the pharaoh. 2, Rick O'Connell kicked his ass. Now, 3rd time, Rick O'Connell kicked his ass, and The Rock kicked his ass. I'm sorry. This is the mistake of getting personal in business. Really affected this whole situation. Fire, a Noxon, a Moon, whatever her name is within the movie.
So the 2 plans that you're proposing, one is hire the O'Connells, and the other is kill the O'Connells beforehand.
You either one. So if you kill the O'Connells, you need Imhotep. But if you hire the O'Connells, you don't need Imhotep. You don't need to bring in another 1,000-year-old powerful being to do this. Because I think you could probably even defeat the Scorpion King with the O'Connells in the Book of the Dead. I think they got it.
Yeah,
I think they got it.
Okay, so I think we have 2 plans that we have to ask our dice of fate here about.
Ask the fates. Ask the sun gods.
Let's say which one do you want to start with? Killing the O'Connells or hiring the O'Connells?
Let's start with hiring the O'Connells.
All right, hiring the O'Connells. I still don't have anything good to roll this in, but that's fine.
Make it roll it.
Oh, that's a 20. That's a natural 20, which means it would, according to the fates, hiring the O'Connells would succeed.
Flawless. And then at the end, you kill the O'Connells.
Probably, because I feel like you have to find a way to elude the O'Connells for the entire thing that you're not trying to obtain power.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And you take care of their son. The son has a very comfy train ride instead of that terror train ride he has with, Ottaway. You know what I mean? Like, he's like nearly stabbed in the hand. Like it's a wild train ride for that kid. The kid could have had a very nice one. We can't get it off you right now, but it's okay. It's fine. We'll just go to the city. Maybe we'll be able to find how to get it off there. It's fine, Junior. Pat on the head. You don't have to do any of the other stuff.
Being nice to your captives might be helpful.
Yes.
So then your other plan was killing the O'Connells from the very beginning. Let's see. Murk them out and then proceed with the rest of the movie.
As planned.
That's a 10, which is like right there in the middle point. That's like saying it might work. It might not.
They kill the O'Connells, and at least in this 10, the O'Connells are dead, except for Alex, and they get to, the place where, I can't remember Hominoptera is where Imhotep is. I can't remember the fourth oasis where Scorpion where the Rock live.
Yeah, I think it's just a golden
WWE headquarters.
Yeah,
they get to WWE headquarters, and the Rock is about to come out. Imhotep slips and trips and stabs himself with the sword of Osiris or whatever it is. and then the Rock takes over the world, but he lets the people that are in the cult of Imhotep live for a bit.
See, I was thinking with a 10, it's more so they succeed in killing Rick and Rachel Weisz, and they take the son. But my thought is they probably don't make it to the Golden Pyramid in time. And ultimately everything just goes sideways. Like it's one of those things where it's like, congratulations, this started off well, but it did not end well.
Oh no. So Imhotep is on the train, has the son's, souls getting, taken from his body. And then he's like, oh crap, I can't defeat the entire army of Anubis. Probably pieces out. Yeah. Probably switches it in the Michael Jackson sand and then sweeps away.
Actually, yeah, because we didn't even think about that. The Anubis army fights the keepers of Imhotep's grave outside of the pyramid. So I think without the O'Connells there, those guys don't end up beating Anubis. I think, like you said, Imhotep gets killed outside of the pyramid, and we're done. That's the movie.
Yeah. And the Scorpion King clitters out of that whole thing, and the whole world is Anubis's.
There you go.
We have an entire world of Anubises. We have an entire world of fiction and fun to do this too, because this was a good one. This was a fun one. This is Make It Make Sense, a Zaboys LLC podcast. I've been Positive C. That's been Brainbox Thornquist. Join us next time where we're going over another Brendan Fraser great action type movie, or a movie he was in for how long, Thorny? How long was Brendan in this one?
Like a scene. He's a cameo in one scene.
Dickie Roberts, former child star, next week on Make It Make Sense.
Thank you for listening to Make It Make Sense, a Zaboys podcast. If you like what you're hearing, follow along with us and, add us to your little list or whatever on Spotify or wherever you're listening. If you'd like to hear some of our previous stuff, you can always check us out on YouTube at Zaboys Media Network for some of our past work, or by searching on Spotify for The Locals Connection with a Z. That's The Locals Connection. Thank you again for listening. Monowea and stay gold, Pony Boy.